Last Epoch Balista Falconer build. As always, before we dive into skills and passives, let me explain what to expect from this build and how it played out. This build basically will turn your action RPG into tower defense game. You can summon ballistas, they will shoot enemies, and honestly that's basically is like full build. So you're going in, you're doing ballista, pressing some decoys, so enemies will attack decoy and not ballista, and just watch how ballistas doing their job. You can like recast it every time, every now and then, and just watch how they melt enemies. This build is really powerful, scales really easy and really fast, so doing nice damage even without really good gear. That's what I like about this build actually. I would say like most rogue builds, they basically like, as you can see, scaling almost without gear. I don't have a lot of cool stuff on me, so just basic stuff mostly. And we got a lot of supportive abilities, like 2 ballistas, and that's it. So we're going, doing some shrouds, and yeah, we are Falconer after all. We can do some Falcon attacks like that. And if you're already enjoying this gameplay, playstyle, you definitely can watch carefully and throughout how to build this awesome character for yourself. Let's start with skills. On our hotbar we got Decoy, Ballista, and Smoke Bomb. All skills will be unlocked when you spending points in Rogue passive tree, so you won't have them directly from beginning, but you can level up pretty fast to get all the skills. Before, just use Flurry, Puncture, Acid Flask, and Shift. Very useful skills. And then slowly but surely change Shift with Aerial Assault when you unlock it with Falconer, and also Flurry or Acid Flask with Falconry, and you will be left with this tree. First of all, let's talk about our bread and butter ability of our ballistas, of course. You can summon 2 ballistas, and only 2 ballistas at the time, but they got no cooldown, so you can do it as much as you wish while you having some mana. But while they can be destroyed by enemies, they will be destroyed automatically after some period of time. So when you're using ballistas, just try to place 1, then just wait a little bit, place 1 more, and basically replace ballistas when you got maximum mana. Look at your mana and replace them when you get maximum. They will never deplete. And to make sure they won't deplete, instantly when you're leveling, go to the bottom node and get Agile Engineering. Now you will place ballistas faster, and also they will have more attack speed, and this will be scaling with your dexterity. So as rogue you will have high dexterity when you're leveling passives, and that's nice scaling attribute. But we're getting only 1 point here because it's maximum, then getting 1 point in rapid fire to increase attack speed even more for ballistas, of course, and then get 3 points in Sturdy Foundation. It will give ballistas more health, so they will less likely be destroyed, and also they will have more duration. Ballista scaling goes health scaling with your level, and damage and attack speed scales with your dexterity, and by default it lasts only 10 seconds. So with the 3 levels over here it will last for 15 seconds, which is like more than enough most of the time to regain your mana and cast other abilities if needed. And also against bosses, especially in early game and in late game, you want to have this node Quick Load. Ballista gains attack speed with each hit, while ballistas will clear normal enemies pretty fast. Against bosses you need to have a lot of attacks, so that's really useful stuff, because you won't replace them too much and give them time to scale. And also while you're standing near these ballistas you can have Frenzy on them with this node Siege Commander. When you get all these points, now it's time to go and get other nodes. I would go instantly to the top and get mana cost reduction. That will reduce duration. So we kinda can cast them more often, but they will last less. That's not a big of a deal because we got increased duration from Stardew Foundation, so we're just lowering mana cost and keeping them with 10 seconds or just around that. But then really big power spike with practical build over here. Ballistas will start to do 40% more damage and 40% more attack speed, so DPS will be insanely increased with just a reduction of duration. When you're leveling up and going like closer to the late game, late stages of the campaign, get 1 point in shared enhancements, and now your damage modifiers also apply to your ballista, but at a reduced ratio. Still, because you're not scaling only minions, that's one of the most important nodes, and make sure to get all 3 points in it. And then last node, so that you can allocate points depending on what you like more or in what stage of the game you are. Go to the top, get these heavy bolts. Balista deals more damage, but less attack speed, so we can have like 1-2 points in here. 1 is more than enough just to go to the next nodes. Bodkin bolts. This will pierce your enemies. I like to have at least like 2-3 points in here, so now Balista's attacking not one but multiple enemies with one shot. And also it's nice to go to the left to get sharpened tips. It will improve Ballista base critical strike chance and also perfect aim, which will give your critical strike chance to Ballistas. So here you can definitely have more points. And also if you think your Ballista's starting to die, maybe you're already farming like high corruption, go and pick shields up. If they just being one-shotted really easily, it will give shields 300 HP for Ballistas, but in my opinion you can actually like remove this point and get perfect aim later. Get more points in it. It will be like dependent on how many points in Ballista you can have based on your gear and other stuff. So now when we get our Ballistas ready, it's time to like help them survive. That's where comes Decoy and Smoke Cloud. Basically because you giving your Ballistas more DPS, you just placing them and placing Decoy. Decoy will aggro enemies and you can use Smoke Cloud, so Ballistas really protected. And you protected yourself, you can like stand nearby of them, and that's like super basic combination against strong enemies. Against weak enemies you will just run around, place Ballistas here and there, and that's it. Basically they will like finish your job. So Decoy. In Decoy I would instantly get 5 points in embedded spikes, so Decoy will reflect some damage that it takes, and then 1 point in backup body to gain more Decoy charges. That's really useful in case you need 2 decoys at one time, so against really strong enemies. And also next node, Lasting Presence, it will increase duration of decoy, increase final explosion damage, but will increase cooldown at the same time. Again, decoy is not useful like in all situations, you don't want to waste a lot of mana on it, so it's nice node to have. And then you can get mana efficiency to just reduce mana that you're using on decoy. Get Sonic Detonation to inflict frailty stacks on your enemies. It will reduce the damage dealt, so it will increase your sustain, your Ballista's sustain. And also you can get this node Warning Sound. When you place in decoy, now you will get haste and be faster for 3 seconds. And also this node Into the Shadows, now your dodge rating will be higher when decoy is placed. If you're not using decoy to taunt your enemies, you can use it to travel through the map faster. Right now when you get all these nodes, and that's why this Ballista Falconer is really nice if you want fast clearing of monoliths. Basically you're running around, dropping decoys, and you're running faster. So what about our Smoke Bomb, our Shadow Strike ability? It's not Shadow Strike, it's just a Smoke Bomb. So Smoke Bomb just plays a smoke. And what's the smoke doing? It blinds enemies and grants you haste while you remain inside of it. So also to travel faster you can throw decoy, be faster, haste almost off, do a smoke bomb and then run a little bit faster again, and that's it basically. To make smoke bomb more effective, because you need to stand inside of it to gain effects, you want to have more duration with lingering fumes, and also more area with generosity. Don't go all in on these 2 nodes, so get at least like 3-4 points in each. Having more area means you can stand in a smoke bomb like area and while still evading some attacks of enemies. That's really useful stuff. And also we get in stacks of Dusk Shroud. Because we got these nodes over here shrouded in darkness, now you're gaining a stack of Dusk of Shroud each second for 2 seconds while you're in a smoke cloud. You will get a glancing blow chance, dodge rating, and this will stay for you for 2 seconds. Basically it will increase your survivability, sustain, and you want to get the stacks more often. That's why we're getting 4 points in rapid concealment. It will just increase frequency of these Dusk Shrouds. And then we're basically adding some nodes to get more buffs and debuff enemies a little bit. We can get Thick Smoke, which will inflict smoke on nearby enemies, so when you're fighting against melee enemies, they will be slowed. It's really nice when you want to run out of the smoke. Also Enfeeblement to inflict frailty on enemies, they will do less damage. And also Moonlight Bomb, which will give you Silver Shroud stacks they will give you ability to dodge next attack with 100% chance. So you kinda got nice dodge chance with this skill. And also cleansing steam, really nice note. When you affected with a lot of dot effects, alignments, you just using smoke bomb and clearing this stuff. So here we are finally in Falconer 3, and we want only falconry, that's our falcon, and aerial assault. Aerial assault will change shift skill, and it will be our movement skill. It will look like this. We're basically like traveling a little bit on our falcon, and he will assault enemies from the skies. But make sure to use it on the farthest point of your screen if you want to travel more distance, because you can aim directly, and if you aim to the farthest point, you will travel for a really nice distance. And now you're really fast clearer. So basically we're using smoke, running fast, using decoy, running fast again, and then even traveling through the map on this falcon. We're super fast. How to make this falcon work like this, and what we got in this tree actually. So first of all, get 4 points in Avian Hunter to increase damage and increase cooldown recovery speed to use the skill more often. Then 1 point in Feather Storm, and now your falcon will look like this basically. With Feather Storm, he will attack with feathers. You don't need next node for now, instead go to the right side. Get 2 points in Covering Fire. Now this ability will inflict frailty on enemies, so it's pretty nice stuff again to reduce damage they inflict to you. But we get 2 points in here just to get Tactician. Tactician will increase ballista damage per intelligence, but also increase ballista attack speed. And also will give priority for ballistas to attack enemies around you. So that's really nice stuff in combination with our ballista. And also get point in Skyward Swoop. It will reduce remain cooldown on every falcon hit. So while falcon is flying around, he will attack enemies and reduce cooldown of your teleport ability. And then you're finishing with Refreshing Resolve to recover missing mana when you're using this ability. And also Healing Gust to recover health. So it will recover your mana, health. It's very useful. Use it off cooldown like almost every time. And then you can just decide what you want more. There's not a lot of useful nodes over here, so Domain of the Hunters will work. Now Feather Storm will slow enemies, and while you're inside you will have increased dodge rating. So basically use Smoke Bomb, use this Feather Storm, and you got like insanely big dodge rating. Just look at this, my character right now got 500 dodge rating, which transfers to 15% chance to dodge, but Aerial Assault plus Smoke Bomb, and now my dodge rating is basically like tripled in a second. And last but not least, our Falcon. You will get this falconry skill, it will be on your hotbar, and you will summon this Falcon. But skill itself will change to Falcon Strikes, and it costs some mana, got some cooldown, but basically you just press a button and Falcon will strike your enemies. So use it against strong enemies if you want to clear them faster. And to level up this Falcon, I would start with Falconer's Journey to increase Falcon damage and damage per dexterity point. Then go to the right side, side by side. You reduce cooldown when you're using some attacks like Decoy, for example, and Smoke Bomb. And then get some points in Avian Stamina. Again, my recommendation is not to all-in get all points in here, like don't get 4 points. Just get 2 points to go to the next nodes, same for side by side, and then finish them up when you leveled the skill completely. So, Avian Stamina will increase number of these Falcon Strikes by 4, and melee attack speed for Falcon, very nice buff. But we want Hunter Spoils. When Falcon kills enemy, you regain some mana and some health, so useful stuff. Also, Bird of Prey is really nice. You will get the skill threshold, so if enemies below 16% of health, Falcon will instantly kill them, which will increase chances of Hunters of Spoil and basically destroy high health enemies, really nice one. And also Blood Dance will give you additional Falcon Strikes, hits on kill. And also it got chance for additional strikes against bosses and rares. So you just press one button and there is a chance, small chance, that Falcon will just clear wall screen. Then I would go to the bottom side, Trained to Hunt. You will share some damage to your Falcon. You can get this point earlier if you wish, but again it's just 1 point here to here, 1, so it will be 7, 8, 9 points over here. You should probably already have this skill at like level 9 when you're starting as Falconer. And then get Go for Eyes. You will give your critical strike chance to Falcon and also exposed weakness. You will buff your Falcon when you're using some skills like Decoy and Smoke Bomb with increased critical strike multiplier. And then you're just finishing this tree with Is It a Bird to increase Falcon damage, and it will be tripled for Falcon strikes, and also Agile Prey, which will give Falcon more damage and tripled against moving targets. So that's our skills. Gameplay is really simple, just put ballistas. Just make sure if your ballistas dying a lot, try to put them separately like this, and maybe decoy like somewhere over here to pull enemies away from them. If your ballistas feeling fine at your current stage and like difficulty level with your gear, put ballistas in a corner like this. It will reduce effective like surroundings and possible places to attack them, so the enemies can't surround them. They are standing nearby of some like cliff or wall. And now you can easily place decoy in the front of them. They will basically shred all enemies. Make sure to use some choke points. If you see like some choke point or maybe breach on the map, you can use ballistas over here, lure enemies into choke point, and basically ballistas will shred everyone. If you need additional damage, just use Falcon Strikes, and if you need to travel through the map, just use your aerial assault. That's it. Let's go to passives. So passives, we're starting as Rogue. And as Rogue, it's super simple. Go with Swift Assassin first, get some attack speed and damage. Just 6 points is enough. Then increase your dexterity and health with Steady Hand, and then get 1 point in Guile to get 5 points in Evasion, which will reduce damage taken while moving. And again, you want to move all the way, all the time when you're playing Falconer. So just press 2 ballistas, press Decoy, Smoke Bomb, and just move around, so you will take less damage and also evade some attacks. That's all points we need in Rogue, and then we're going to Falconer. So in Falconer, you can have around 69 points for total, and when you finish a campaign, you probably will have all this unlocked for you. You will be like around level 50 with additional like 15 points, so probably almost finished build. Here we're leveling bottom part first. So most of the time at the bottom there's like defensive skills, but right now at the bottom in Falconer tree, it's minion damage. So it's like completely opposite. For Falconer, on the top you got your like protective stuff for Falconer himself, and here you will have some like minion damage stuff. So Handler, increasing minion damage for Falcon and Balista crit chance, additional crit chance, get 8 points in here. Also Agile Hunt, Falcon will do additional damage. Then just 1 point increase on Crimson Skies. You will gain chances when Falcon or Balista hits enemy to get this 5% less damage over time taken for 4 seconds, and this stacks for 3 times. Then you get in 6 points in Tactician to increase damage for Falcon and Balista, then 6 points in Evasion Tactics to increase your dexterity and armor and dodge rating, and just in case you for like any reason won't be able to level up here, I forgot actually how many points over here, get some points in this top spot. So on the top bar, get points when needed, 1 point in Wilderness Scout to increase health and dodge rating a little bit, and then Outlander's Tenacity to gain endurance and dodge rating. But first of all, try to finish bottom part as fast as possible. So Evasion Tactics 6 points and 5 points in Relentless Talons to increase damage and minion damage, and also gain health on Falcon hit, scaled with your dexterity, and also points in Stimfland Feathers. You will have additional armor, scaled with your dexterity, but also you will increase armor on Falcon hit. So very nice scaling of armor while you just running around and Falcon kills enemies. And then last but not least, our favorite nose, it's Tailwind. Basically, when Falcon hits enemies, you got double of this effect, so you will have reduced damage taken while moving, increased movement speed, increased dodge rating, and that's very good stuff. Mostly protective one, but if you need damage, you go with Needle-like Precision, increasing critical strike chance that's shared among your minions. Also, minions will have increased critical strike chance, critical multiplier, and minion critical multiplier that's again shared against them. Like very nice and crazy scaling of ability actually. Because with your passives, you kinda giving your critical strike multiplier, critical strike chance to your minions, and they got their own, so they scaling really like crazily. That's why this build is so good. And also finally them. You regain health when you or your minions crits an enemy. That's why with this build you want to stack as much critical strike as possible. So go with like a lot of critical strike multipliers and gain as much crit as possible for you and your team. Also in Falconer tree you can get this like shield over here for classing blow chance, but mostly you get in 5 points in here to double this chance if you're not being hit, and you will evade a lot of attacks, so that's nice buff over here. And that's it. Basically you don't need a lot of like other nodes in this Falconer tree when you're going for Balista Falconer. Instead you can get Blade Dancer and Marksman nodes. For Marksman it will be Focus Fire with Dexterity, so 8 points in here, and Blade Dancer top node with Dexterity again and Glancing Blow chance. So that's the build. It's really cool, powerful, very nice for like season start if you want this tactician gameplay with a lot of ballistas everywhere. But if you want to utilize Falcon more than your ballistas, watch video on the screen right now with Falconer build that will focus on your lovely bird that will destroy your enemies with Falcon Strike. And see you in the next videos, guys.